Today on The African Story, Peter Obi answers some of my most burning questions courtesy of Parallel Facts.
Every single day, I'm going through one form of harassment, intimidation, everything. But I say to anybody who cares, no, there's no way we can abandon this.
I then draw the parallel between Obi, Bobi Wine of Uganda, and Ousmane Sonko of Senegal. I tell you what they have in common. I also explain how we might be undervaluing the importance of opposition in an African democracy. Also, American rapper Meek Mills shuts down the internet after asking South Africans and Nigerians an interesting question. I tell you more about it. We look back in history on Trivia Africa. Did you know that Africa holds the record for the shortest war in history? Finally, in What's News in Africa, who else saw the drama between the Moroccan and Congolese players at AFCON? You will not believe my two-kobo. I am misgiving you what you need, Gloria Ayo, and this is The African Story. I had the opportunity to speak with Peter Obi courtesy of Parallel Facts. The first thing I asked was around the elephant in the room, Nigeria's reported bankruptcy.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for addressing the elephant in the room. We all know about the drastic changes in the economy. It's no secret that Nigeria is currently grappling with a series of unprecedented economic challenges. Now, some experts have even stated and claimed that Nigeria is on the brink of bankruptcy. If you were in the position of the president, what strategies would you have implemented to navigate these difficulties, Your Excellency?
For me, the first thing to do is to apply the brakes on this consumption completely and focus on ensuring that all borrowed money are used in critical areas of development that is productive, that will impact on growth. Because that's the only way you can start turning things around in order to be able to generate more revenue, service these debts, reduce it, and everything. So for me, first is that we have to cut aggressively cost of governance.
I asked him about voter apathy.
Prior to the 2023 elections, we know there was an unprecedented surge of adrenaline among the youth in Nigeria and even throughout Africa. And this marks a significant impact on the political landscape. However, post-elections, there's been a noticeable shift towards voter apathy, despondency, and disillusionment. And this brings me to a question from somebody in the audience at Lord Tyrion 4. He's asking, Dear Peter Obi, how are you going to revive and sustain the interest of first-time young voters in the electoral process given the last elections?
Gloria, the monies your country is borrowing today, you are the one going to pay it. Most of us who are borrowing it are in their 70s and 80s. If you look at bonds Nigeria is issuing, there are bonds that will be payable 2046, 2048, 2050, 2060 something. None of us will be there. So this is a time from what you have achieved, this is time for us to stay together, sacrifice more. If I tell you personally what I go through, you will say to me, why do you want to continue this? Every single day, I'm going through one form of harassment, intimidation, everything. But I say to anybody who cares, no, there's no way we can abandon this.
A question was asked regarding bigotry.
Whenever you want to bring a change, you have for enemy all those that live off the old order. So what you have now is that the people with the old order is the one fighting now. And they are saying, we will crush this Peter Obi. We will make sure. And they're doing it jointly. So that's why you're seeing the ethnic bigotry. You're seeing this because they were going to throw in everything. Oh, he's not he's a Christian. He's against Muslims. Is Muslims buying bread cheaper? No. Are they buying rice cheaper? No. Is fuel cheaper for the Muslims? Is there any free state on their server? No. Now the ones who are going to tell you is an Igbo man. Igbo man should not be. The Yorubas that are there today, are they buying bread cheaper? No. Are they buying fuel cheaper? No. Go to Lagos today, go to Ibadan. If you see any filling station that is selling fuel cheaper, let me know. If you see anyone saying, so until people realize that this is not about Ademi, it's not about Ibrahim, it's not about Obi, it is about a country called Nigeria. That's why I said to you, they will do everything. If they can't get out, they will deal with Peter Obi. Peter Obi might not be there for them, but I'm ready for anything. Anything they want to do. And I'm sure that if we get together, when they take Peter Obi away, other people will continue from where I stopped. That is what is important to me.
He also talked about effective opposition.
Sir, you have been putting out statements to counter most of what some may consider anti-people policies of this government, and this is really commendable. In a situation whereby the government continues in this path of bringing out policies that make life difficult for the masses, what do you recommend? And now I'm paraphrasing. In what ways can citizens get the government to change their positions on such policies?
Gloria, when we have effective opposition, I've now started even telling bodies like Nigerian Economic Summit, you can't continue to invite only people in government to occasions. But if you go in societies that work, all the G7, G20 countries that work, is you invite people in government, you invite the opposition. So for us, what we need to do is to remain where we are and say, this is wrong. Look at in a few months, all of you are harassing labor legislators and say they are not doing the right thing. That's what it should be. Because you voted them for a purpose. Don't allow them to, after voting them, for them to go and say, oh, they didn't come there themselves. There was something they were offering and we voted them. Today, we can no longer go on that way. We can no longer afford that type of lifestyle. It is no longer visible for us to do things like that, and it must be stopped. So that's where we are. So we continue to say things are wrong when they are wrong. That's what we'll continue to do.
Thank you so much. I just want to say, Your Excellency, we appreciate you. More people appreciate you than those who do not. One thing we can all agree on is that you prioritize people's welfare and have left such an indelible mark on the landscape of Nigerian politics. We will continue to honor and appreciate your contributions while holding on to the belief that a new Nigeria is truly possible.
Did you hear the challenges Peter Obi shared that consistently being in the opposition has cost him? I would now like to talk about a few other opposition leaders very quickly in Africa. Meet superstar entertainer, activist, and politician Robert Sentamu, also known as Bobi Wine. He is also popularly known as the People's President. Matter of fact, there is a documentary out on him that just got an Oscar nomination.
I want this message to go to President Museveni. On behalf of the people of Uganda, I am challenging you to a free and fair election. are non-violent, and we continue to preach non-violence.
I am not a criminal. I am a presidential candidate.
Nothing will stop him.
We must get our freedom or we shall die trying. We are fighting for freedom.
As you can see from the trailer I just shared, Bobi has also paid a price for being in the opposition. Meet Ousmane Sonko, a major figure of the Senegalese opposition. Sonko too has paid heavily for daring to oppose the Senegalese government.
Heavily guarded vehicle is Sonko on his way to a trial that could end his political aspirations. He's charged with slander after he accused a state minister of corruption. If convicted, he cannot contest the 2024 presidential elections. As crowds gathered, security forces forced Sonko out of his vehicle. He says he was injured in the scuffle. The judge hearing his case has adjourned the proceedings because of Sonko's injuries. But the fighting on the streets continues.
Moments ago.
So, having established the comparison between Peter Obi, Bobi Wine, and Ousmane Sonko, to those who wonder why they feel the need to keep opposing even after the elections didn't turn out favorably for them, here is my 2 kobo. A government should be attentive to all voices, not just those in agreement with it, because hidden insights often lie in opposing views. For instance, in the United Kingdom, the Labour Party's role in the creation of the National Health Service cannot be overlooked. Bipartisanship was also necessary for legislation to be passed for the civil rights movement in the United States. Germany has been lauded for being one of the greenest countries in the world, but it would not have achieved this without the Green Party, a party which is often in the opposition. Oh, but I've gone too far. Let's bring it back to Africa. After the end of apartheid, South Africa's transition to democracy was aided by the presence of strong opposition parties like the Democratic Alliance. These parties have been crucial in holding the ruling African National Congress accountable, particularly on issues of corruption and governance. In any democracy, the role of the opposition isn't just important, it's essential. Think of it this way. Democracy is like a vibrant ecosystem, and opposition parties are a crucial part of this biodiversity. Just as an ecosystem thrives on diversity, so does a democratic society. After an election, the opposition serves as a check and balance on the ruling party, ensuring that power is not only questioned, but that government is also held accountable. It's like having a second pair of eyes, always watching, always questioning. This constant scrutiny promotes transparency, and it also helps prevent complacency or even abuse of power. Opposition voices represent the concerns of a significant portion of the populace whose views and needs remain relevant. They are the voice of not just dissent, but of alternative perspectives challenging the government so that they can help refine and improve their policies. A democracy without a robust opposition is like sailing a ship without a compass. You might move forward, but you're very likely to lose your way. What else is news in Africa? Here are 10 headlines you missed from the past week. Huge news for Africa as Cameroon rolls out its malaria vaccine. So far, 19 other African countries plan to join the program. According to a spokesman for the Liberian president, he is in good health. This statement comes after President Joseph Boakai suffered from heat exhaustion during his inauguration, and this has stirred concerns for the state of his health. The United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken has vowed to deeper relations between the US and Africa. Blinken recently embarked on a 4-country tour of Africa. A 29-year-old man in South Africa was arrested and charged with 76 counts of murder following his confession at a public inquiry where he admitted to starting a lethal fire in a Johannesburg building last year. He claimed to have ignited the fire in an attempt to dispose of a body he had strangled on a drug dealer's orders using gasoline to set the victim ablaze. The British Parliament's upper house has advised the Conservative government against finalizing a migration treaty with Rwanda. Russian President Vladimir Putin hosted Chadian leader Mahamat Debi at the Kremlin. Looks like France is losing more of its influence in West Africa and the Sahel because now Russia keeps making moves to establish connections with African nations. Interesting. Self-proclaimed Kenyan pastor Paul Mackenzie, his wife, and 93 others were charged with 238 counts of manslaughter. These charges relate to the deaths of 429 members, including children of Mackenzie's Good News International Church. You may have heard the story. Mackenzie actually commanded them to fast until death, anticipating the end of the world. Canada declares a 2-year limit on visas for international students, aiming to reduce strains on housing, healthcare, and other services. This announcement comes during a period of unprecedented immigration. In entertainment, the Recording Academy has revealed that Burna Boy will be performing at the Grammy Awards scheduled for February 4. Burna Boy is nominated in 4 categories. Go Africa! Still in entertainment, I have a what in the motherland moment. Did you read Meek Mill's comment on social media? He wrote, and I read, "Do a lot of people play my music in South Africa? I remember having one big show there a few years back. How do y'all listen to our music in South Africa? On what platform? Or in Nigeria?" I am out of tukobas on this topic. Will you be kind enough to help me explain to Meek in the comments section? Thank you very much. In sports, and in another what in the motherland moment, did you catch the spat between the Democratic Republic of Congo defender Chancel Mbemba and Morocco's head coach? And to make matters worse, Mbemba's Instagram account became a target of abuse. Users responded to a post on his Instagram account with monkey or gorilla emojis, and some wrote racist comments. Isn't it tragic enough that some of our players face racism abroad, but to be home and still face this is a bigger tragedy? But I'm gonna move on from that swiftly. Anyway, did you know that Africa holds the record for the shortest war in history that only lasted about 38 to 45 minutes? How did this happen? We will discuss when I return. In the meantime, feel free to share your tukobo on anything I have shared in the comments below. It is the African Story. Hey, are you looking for quality groceries at affordable prices? Then look no further. I present to you A-Life Tropical Market. Yes, we're talking wholesale, retail, whatever it is you need, they got it. And if you're talking about impeccable customer service, listen, I'm not gonna hype something unless I absolutely believe in it. Their customer service is top notch. And if you're looking for home delivery, look no further, A-Life Tropical has got you. They have African and Caribbean foods, whatever it is you need, meat, fish, small chops, yes, small chops, provision, snail, goat, whatever it is. And if they don't have it, just simply ask for it and I assure you they'll hook you up. All you have to do is call this number 470-469-2836. That number again is 470-469-2836. And yes, they're available on WhatsApp. So check them out today, A-Life Tropical Market, and tell them Gloria sent you. Holla! Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Anglo-Zanzibar War. It all happened on August 27, 1896. So, Sultan Hamad bin Tuwaini, a leader who was pro-British and what some have described as a puppet for the British, suddenly died mysteriously. Now, some have alleged that the man behind his death was Sultan Khalid bin Bargash, allegedly, but I digress. Sultan Khalid then took over the throne, and the British did not like that very much. See, the British preferred that whoever was in power was somebody who was pro-British, and Sultan Khalid was far from this. Anyway, a conflict ensued between the United Kingdom and the Sultan. The British demanded Sultan Khalid surrender, but he refused and even barricaded himself in the palace. The British then decided to bombard the palace, and this led to approximately 500 Zanzibari casualties and 1 British injury. Sultan Khalid then got very afraid, and rightfully so. He fled for his life, seeking asylum in German East Africa. The British then established a new puppet government, marking the end of Zanzibar's sovereignty and the start of significant British influence. Now, there have been different accounts on how long that war was, but let's just say it lasted somewhere between 38 and 45 minutes, and this makes it the shortest war ever in the history of the world. Love what you see? Do you want to see more? Then follow me on all social media platforms right now. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Bloom86 Media was the editor and technical director. You really should patronize him. The best editor in the game. You know I appreciate you, brother. You really are the best. And to you watching, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and share your 2 kobo on anything we have discussed. I truly love reading from you. Until I come your way again, stay true, stay kind, stay beautiful. This is The African Story. Hola, do you want more contents like this? Then I need your help. You see that subscribe button? Yeah, it's right there, right under this video. All I need is a click. With your subscription, the algorithm becomes more favorable and it helps spread the word faster, and then I get encouraged to do even more contents like this. Get it? See? And please make sure you tell everybody you know to also subscribe. I truly, truly appreciate you. Keep it locked.